So starting with the chapter called investment decision. That is chapter number 7 that you have. Okay. The investment decision is a chapter which is also called capital budgeting. The chapter capital budgeting is different than the chapter of risk analysis in capital budgeting. That is a different chapter. Before we understand the learning points of the chapter, first of all, let us understand from examination point of view. From examination point of view, to what extent the importance is given to this chapter. May 2018 onwards, I have kept the examination paper till January 2021, and you can see that there is not a single examination in which the question is not there from this chapter. On an average, it is 10 marks. Friends, over here, there are 23, like the concept that we have. And this is the way we understand is that it is an important chapter from examination point of view. Every time there is at least a question from this chapter. Maybe more than one, but in no case it is less than one. Friends, this is a chapter which is there in your syllabus since long. That is, it was there in the IPCC also, and it is there in the CA intermediate also. And even in case of the IPCC, every time there would be a question from this chapter in examination. This is the kind of importance, or this is the significance that we have of this chapter from examination point of view. Okay. Now, let us have a discussion about the learning points of the chapter. Now, what are the learning points of this chapter? Let us have a discussion of the same. This chapter is simply about the decision making. This chapter is simply about the decision making. We are going to have understanding of the decision making in different situations. For example, we are going to understand the decision making with respect to manufacturing of a product. We are going to take a decision that whether a company should manufacture a product or not. We are going to have understanding of the decision making that whether a company should expand its existing business or not. Let us say that I am already doing business in Ahmedabad and I want to expand my business, let us say in Vadodara, then should I expand my business or not? We are going to take a decision about the replacement of machinery. In a way that in my factory presently I am doing business with a specific type of machinery. In the market, the new type of machinery has recently been introduced, and I am considering that since the new technology machinery is going to improve the quality of the product, it is going to improve the working conditions, it is going to reduce the cost per unit, or it is going to increase the production. Then in that case, should I replace my existing machinery with the new machinery or not? Of course, this replacement is not going to be free of cost. It is going to incur certain expenses. So whether I should replace my existing machinery or not, that I am going to decide. Many a times we are required to take a decision, with respect to mutually exclusive investment proposal. For example, right now I have my business in Ahmedabad and I am considering expansion of my business either in Vadodara or in Surat. Due to constraint of the, let us say, the manpower, I am not able to expand at both the places. I would be able to expand at one of the two places. So that is given a technical name as the mutually exclusive options. So how to take the decision with respect to the mutually exclusive options, that is what we are going to understand over here. In a way that this chapter is about the entire decision making. We are going to take the decision for the different situations. Usually over here, the decisions are required to be taken for such projects or for certain investments which are irreversible in nature. Which are irreversible in nature. We understand that the recently Amazon has made a huge investment in India. So the amount of the investment which has been made in India is really huge, and we definitely understand that it is not possible for Amazon to now step back from this decision, because the huge capital investment is made. If ever you step back from this decision, then in that case there is a huge capital loss that you have. Okay. So over here we are going to understand, let's say, how these decisions are taken up. We cannot say that the financial management decision making techniques is the only thing that the top management is going to consider for the purpose of decision making. Of course, there are a number of things which are going to be taken together for the purpose of decision making, but in that, one of the aspect is definitely about the financial management angle. So from financial management angle, how the decision is taken up, that is what we are going to understand over here. Now, dear students, for the purpose of decision making, financial management experts have developed certain techniques, and those techniques are given a name as net present value technique, net present value index technique, profitability index technique, internal rate of return technique, payback period, discounted payback period, and accounting rate of return or average rate of return. Like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. These are the 7 techniques that we are going to understand. For what? For the purpose of decision making in different situations. First of all, I would like to give you explanation about the learning part of the chapter. And the learning part of the chapter is learning this decision making methods for the purpose of decision making in various situations. Dear students, there will be a few situations in which more than one method can be applied for decision making. There will be again a few situations wherein you have to take decision with certain precise method only. If nothing is specified, then which method is required to be applied for decision making, that is also what we are going to discuss in detail. So these are the things that we are going to understand in very interesting chapter, at the same time very important chapter from examination point of view, that is called investment decision or capital budgeting. Understanding further, see the learning points that we have, just trying to give you some idea. We are going to understand NPV technique. These are the techniques of the decision making. Payback period, discounted payback period, profitability index, or it is given a name as desirability factor, or it is given a name as benefit cost ratio. NPV index, ARR, average rate of return, or it is also given a name as accounting rate of return, internal rate of return. So these are the 7 techniques which you are going to learn. Then you are going to understand the decision making in different situations, that is called single project evaluation, mutually exclusive investments, replacement of machinery. These are the things that we are going to understand. These are certain miscellaneous concepts that we have: sunk cost, allocation of common expenses, This is a special situation in which we are going to understand the decision making called capital rationing. The word rationing stands for the word rationing stands for scarcity of the funds. Capital rationing, I'm sorry, rationing stands for scarcity. Capital rationing stands for rationing of the funds. Sometimes what happens, let's say you have good investment opportunities, however you lack with the funds to make investment. That is what we understand is capital rationing. So how to take decision in that case? That is what we are going to decide. Equalize annual cash outflow, some modified version of the technique that we are going to understand. Equalize annual NPV, modified IRR. It is the extended version of IRR. Why there is a need of the modification? That is also what we are going to discuss. Conflict in ranking of the proposal between NPV and IRR. That is again the advanced concept. And so on, we are going to have understanding. Dear students, I have kept it over here. Capital budgeting with inflation. Just to tell you that it was asked for 10 marks in examination. However, this concept has been eliminated by CA Institute from intermediate syllabus from May 2020 onwards. APV. Again, this was a concept which was tested in examination in May 2018, so I have kept it in the list. But again, from May 20 onwards, it is eliminated from the syllabus. So this is the way, so there is elimination of the two concepts from examination point of view from May 20 onwards. This is what we have.